Hey YouTube Fragcom, how's everybody smelling? Hopefully you're all doing well. Before I get into the topic of the show, scent of the day today is going to be the one Royal Night from Dolce & Gabbana. I smell like an Arabian prince. What can I say? I got the jacket on, however I'm taking the jacket off because I need to roll my sleeve ups just a little bit on this one. See you later. So here we go. I'm going to put all the cards on the table. This may take 10 minutes of your time. This may take an hour of your time. It all depends on how much I like to blab. And as you know on the Robezoid channel, I like to talk. I even have my coffee ready to go because I need a little bit of an energy boost because it is late night tonight. I got the girls glittering with a little bit of light. It's not good for them, but they like to say hi. Now, here we go. Before I get into this video, the first real thing I wanna say is first and foremost, before you comment, come check out this video. Come see what I have to say. I know words are... they are a bitch. They can turn people against you and with you, all depending on what you say. So my first statement in this video, and this is something that I'm being really honest with the fragrance community, is before you comment, watch the video. The theme of this video, to be quite honest, and what I would like to see in the comments below, is not to take sides. Haven't we seen enough of this shit going on right now that too many people are taking sides? I'm with Group A, I'm with Group B. I'm gonna name drop just because everybody knows who I'm talking about. So as far as taking sides, you know, I'm looking at Daver's video, I'm looking at Bottom Notes video on Dua, I'm looking at Jeremy's response video to Daver, technically, even though he didn't name him, but response to haters, pretty quite clear. The comments below in a lot of those videos, those three videos, even Joey Cannoli's video, there's a hell of a lot of hate. There's a lot of hateful, embarrassing shit, man. Embarrassing stuff that you can't even, like, to be quite honest, I'm tagged into Jeremy's thing, but to be quite honest, some very hateful stuff. That is, as we grow as a community, it is going to happen, but at the same time, you guys need to, relax a little bit before you click send when you're writing. Now that I have probably my haters, no, I don't like to call them that, but people that dislike me kind of like to clickbait on these videos. So I'm going to take this chance to actually talk to you guys, maybe knock some sense into you. First and foremost, I know that I get a lot of flack in regards to my name, the Fragrance Guru. Where did that come from? The self-titled Fragrance Guru, I hear a lot. I'm going to put that to bed. The story behind the Fragrance Guru name is pretty simple and straightforward. When I first started my fragrance channel, I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. When I first started my fragrance channel, there was 3 fragrance reviewers on YouTube. Katie Puckrick, Tim Swetkopf, and Cubby were the ones that I recall that were there. Katie Puckrick was the subscriber base that had the largest number, and we could technically call her the leader of Fragcom because subscriber base says that you're the leader. I find that funny, but anyway, Katie, Tim, and Cubby were in the Fragcom, and I wanted to join in. When I first started my channel, I think Katie and Cubby had back in the day when YouTube when I first joined, always had like little titles so you could search which category these people were in. So you'd be looking into your category, how to, things like that. And these makeup artists and Katie and Cubby were all under the Guru section. So that made sense to me, just because you're kind of talking about a topic. So I chose that as, I think now my category is how to and style, I think. They changed the categories. I think they kind of went away from the categories, but either or, it was under Guru. And that just kind of made me kind of spitball. Now, as far as Guru, obviously, I'm not trying to project that I am a know-it-all in fragrances. I'm always my feet are firmly my feet are firmly planted to the floor. My head is this size. It does fit between these two curio cabinets. I do not believe that I'm a fragrance guru per se, and I believe that my opinion is the end all and be all of the fragrance world. My opinion is just a drop, just like everybody else's. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, how many views that you're getting. Your opinion is the same as the guy that just started his first video and he has no subscribers. So I just want to put that to bed, the Fragrance Guru name, because a lot of people kind of mislabel me as thinking that I think that my opinion is the end all and be all. Moving on. So let's let's go to the fragrance community. I want to talk about the fragrance community. The fragrance community as a whole has been around way before YouTube was even on the internet. Even the internet before it started, there was a fragrance community. People were sniffing out fragrances and having these meetups and things like that. When I talk about fragrance community, personally I'm speaking about our own YouTube fragrance community. The people that shoot videos, reviewers, the people who hit like and they comment on everybody's videos. So that is what when I talk about the fragrance community, that is the people that I'm talking to. So I'm not putting in Fragrantica base notes, and I'm not saying that YouTube is the center of the fragrance community. No, when I talk fragrance community, I'm talking about the people that I talk to on a daily basis, and the people that I watch, and the people I communicate with all the time. So for you, the fragrance community could be a wider base, or it could be actually smaller. It could just be your channel and the people that you're with, and that is your prerogative. But for me, when I speak about fragrance community, and when I'm going to be talking about fragrance community on this video, that's what it means. So you may, as a subscriber, while you're watching me, you may not even be subscribed to me. You're just clickbaiting because you see those sweet names on my channel here, and you think I'm going to talk about some drama here. But you could be subscribed to me. You could be subscribed to many of us. You could be subscribed to only one person, and you are very loyal to that person. The fragrance community can be different than the one I have in my mind. Some say there isn't a fragrance community here. It's only a small group of reviewers against the rest. That is false. That is 100% false. I act on my own accord. Daver acts on his own accord. Joey Cannoli, Red Essence, Jeremy Fragrance, Bottom Note, Coach Rob, Dan, my Mickers, everybody else. There's not a group called the fragrance community, and if you act wrong, you're kind of booted out and you're kind of on the outside looking in. That is incorrect. We all act on our own. There is no conferences with me, Daver, Dan, Red Essence, and we just hang out and we go, okay, who's not doing things the right way? No. So I'm going to put that to bed right now. Moving on to the leader of Fragcom. Everybody talks about, well, not everybody, but some people mention Jeremy's the new leader of Fragcom. As our YouTube fragrance community is concerned, when people look at the leader of Fragcom, it was always tagged with the subscriber, the reviewer with the larger subscriber base. What makes a leader? Does that mean that the most successful YouTuber, because they have the most subscribers, means they're the leader of the Fragcom? So now they're leading the pack. Everybody's following them. As a leader, the way I describe a leader or define a leader is someone that shows the way, leads the way on their own accord. Is there a leader of this YouTube fragrance community? No. Like I said earlier in this video, everybody acts on their own accord. I am very fortunate to be one of the larger fragrance channels on YouTube since my first year on here. I'm very humbled that people refer to me as the leader of the community. This is a community and I have a part in it. I still believe that this fragrance community thing, which is huge at the moment, can still be a civil, loving family for fragrances. So do I see myself as a leader? I like to portray myself as a leader to, be civil and basically put, what I've learned in life into my YouTube fragrance channel. It doesn't always work. I don't have, I don't have the cleanest hands in the world as far as the fragrance community goes. I'm very much well ingrained in the community, and I will give my 2 cents. And that is something that has hurt me as my reputation goes on the YouTube fragrance community. But either way, as far as a leader of this YouTube fragrance community, as reviewers, anybody can be a leader. Everybody can be reviewers, subscribers. You guys, we're all a community. That's what it is. There's no leader setting the tone. I don't think so. Maybe you do, but that is obviously a choice of opinion. I've never felt that when I had let's say the largest subscriber count on YouTube to really be a leader. There's nothing to be a leader at. I had the largest subscriber count for a while. Okay, so I'm the leader now. What do I do? I didn't do anything different. There's nothing there. I don't. numbers don't say everything, and to be quite honest, numbers doesn't show a true leader. You can have 1 million subscribers in the fragrance community. Some guy could pop up and be a million subscribed guy, and he has 2 videos on his channel. Does that define him as the new leader of the fragrance community? That definition is just unreal, to be quite honest. Now I'm going to address a little bit about my background a little bit more before I start tackling the 2 major dramas right now in our fragrance community. You guys can most likely skip this portion, or if you want to know a little bit more about me, keep it tuned in. So when drama happens or something happens, now when drama happens or something happens in our very young YouTube fragrance community, I tend to be very vocal at times. And you can see from time to time, I like to put my 2 cents out there. Sometimes I like to just sit back and let things unfold. As most of you know, as a reviewer, you would know that we put a lot of time in our channels, a whole bunch of time. I've put my hours in, way back when. I've put my hours in. I have quite a bit on this my YouTube channel. Will I defend my YouTube fragrance channel to the very end, to death? I don't think it's that serious, but I'm very proud of my channel, the work I've done, and I would never jeopardize my whole channel for some sort of petty drama or things like that. But I do put my 2 cents in from time to time, which sometimes, you put your hand in and you get like a little mousetrap that kind of bites you a little bit, and you say, ah, shit, I shouldn't have said anything, because words can be twisted, especially if you're not on camera. On camera, it's a little more personal. So my most recent 2 cents video, because I have a few that rubbed people, let's say, the wrong way, was my compliment video. Yeah, my compliment video. Ooh, that was a good one. That one was fun. That video, that video got quite a bit of dislikes. It was kind of 50-50. I don't recall. I haven't really went back to the likes and dislikes and just see if it's around the same. It doesn't really affect me, just because that was my opinion at the time. The comments below were crazy. It was craziness. I really felt like, holy shit, what's going on here? That video was made, to be quite honest, as a personal opinion on a topic. That's all it was. I didn't think it was going to be bigger than it was much bigger than I expected. Obviously, a subscriber base of a certain reviewer, Jeremy Fragrance, really took, some of them took it quite well. Others took it as a personal attack of their favorite fragrance reviewer, which, case in point, if the shoe fits, you can see that I can see why they would do that looking back at that video. The shoe does fit. However, it was my personal opinion on a subject. So to be quite honest, it was just me saying how I felt on certain videos, and when I'm clicking through videos, that's not what I'm looking for. Now, I'll be honest, when I start talking about a subject like that, I can go off the rails a little bit. I could throw a little emotion in there at the same time, which I did, and I could see why some people were thinking that, oh, he's going after what's his face. That was not the intention. Mr. Fragrance, or I guess I should call him Jeremy. If you are watching this, or your subscribers are watching this, it was not, that was not the intention of that video. Now, I kept all the comments in that video up and ready to go. People were, you know, I'm unsubscribing to you, Mark, things like that. I left it all there. However, that comment section got a little crowded for me. Things went south, subscribers took sides, and it's almost impossible for me to defend or say what the video was about. It's almost kind of like what Daver's trying to do right now, kind of backtracking a little bit. People already made up their minds. There's no way that if I replied to a comment, things would get actually better. It would actually get worse. There was no sense of posting any replies to those people in that video. I let the bed lie, keep on trucking. That is, you know, you just learn from being on social media that people will twist, turn, and kind of change things to what they feel was the idea of the video. There was a huge disclaimer in front of that video. What did I say in that video? Well, I remember quite well. I said this video is not towards any fragrance reviewer. That's why there was no names attached to it. Some people are saying, Mark, you're a coward. You should have just said this is to Jeremy Fragrance. I don't like your videos. It is what it is, man. Come on now. It wasn't geared towards him. So that's what I call that particular video, and there's many of those in our YouTube fragrance community, which I call a virus video. It's a bomb. People start taking sides and start bashing, saying things like, I'll unsubscribe, and getting very serious about a video topic. There's no reason to make any sense out of these people. My compliment factor video wasn't too bad. I didn't see, you know, there's a lot of hate spewed on me, unsubscribe, things like that. Does that affect me? No. Do I care about my subscribers? Oh, hell yeah. Does one video make what a channel is all about? No. So if you do want to unsubscribe to my channel because of one particular video, then go right ahead. You're not a supporter of my channel, especially if you didn't get the whole idea of the video, or you didn't really contact me. All you're trying to do is trying to get a rise out of me saying, I'm unsubscribing. It is what it is. I really care about my subscribers. Even if I only had 50 of you, you can see throughout my life of my fragrance channel, I have plenty of videos thanking my subscribers for all their love, the comments, and the likes. Smart thing to do as a reviewer, if there is some sort of drama, especially in the YouTube fragrance community. I already know this from being kind of in the midst of it in a few ways, is basically don't put any comments. Don't post any comments. Don't give your 2 cents about a topic. Just ignore it and move on. Now that is, you know, that is a great way to look into it. We have a lot of our big name fragrance reviewers that aren't talking about the topic at hand. So that's why you don't hear about them. Keep your nose clean and keep on trucking, which is a great way of looking at things. At times, I've done that. At other times, you know, the saying goes, take the high road. Sometimes that's just the way it is. And one thing I've learned as a reviewer, and this is one tip to the upcoming reviewers that are in our fragrance community, is I like to give my 2 cents at times and give my opinion on a subject. As a reviewer, I've learned quickly that my opinion can persuade many of my subscribers to take my side, almost to a cult following. I've seen that with Jeremy Fragrance in his Addressing to Haters video. just go through those comments. Just take a look at the hateful comments there. It really is sickening. It's actually pretty bad. There's no requirement to have the back of a fragrance reviewer that bad. I'm pretty sure Jeremy can handle himself. Which he did, and you know, it's just same thing with Bottom Note. You know, you're seeing that kind of posting. It's a cult following, and to me, I saw that early in my fragrance career. I had quite a following. My opinion was really valuable to certain people, that they would be right up there, front lines, ready to go. Anybody that's coming after me. I still got people like that on my channel. Kudos to you. Thank you. But at the same time, sometimes you're kind of crossing the line here. You're almost embarrassing not only yourself, but you're embarrassing me. And it is truly not what I, the reviewer, would want from a subscriber. I do not want, I know David does not want his subscriber base to go over to Jeremy's channel and start disliking his videos and start putting comments in a negative manner. Same thing, you know, with Jeremy. I'm sure he doesn't want them in there, and it is the creator's choice to kind of moderate those comments if those come through. So as far as that goes, subscribers, I can't tell you what and what not to do. If you're gonna troll, you're gonna fucking troll. You're a troll. That's what you're gonna do, and I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of them in this video. Now I'm going to go through my disagreements on YouTube one by one. I haven't had that much. I've had a few kind of, and I call them disagreements just because it wasn't all out war. To some people it might have been. For the people that were in it, the two reviewers, it wasn't. So my first disagreement would have to be with Brad. Brad, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. He's a fellow reviewer. He's still reviewing. He's probably has the most reviews on YouTube. Brad, this disagreement was so petty that to this day, at this moment right now on camera, I remember having the disagreement just because certain things did progress badly, but I can't remember why I was even a little upset with Brad. I remember he posted a comment on one of my videos. I took it as a negative comment, and I commented right back. I remember I don't know if I asked a question or something, but I wasn't really impressed with Brad's comment, so I put in a little comment of my own. That was the first time that I didn't lash out, but I wanted to give my 2 cents. That's the way I am. I'm vocal. And I might have taken his words out of context, because look at me, I don't even remember what he said. And I took it as a negative, and I think looking back, he was only asking a question or something, to be quite honest. Either way, that was the first time I saw YouTube, Fredcom, turn its ugly head. I made my thoughts public on Brad on my channel, and people started going after Brad. Now, if you rewind back to that day, I don't know if it was 2010 or maybe Brad can shed light in the comments, but he was not just starting out, but his channel was, you know, I'm sure he had several hundred subscribers, and I had the larger channel. I was well established at that time. What happened was, once I hit that comment and I submitted that, all of us, or Brad actually took the brunt of it. My subscribers started hopping over to his channel, disliking his videos, leaving nasty comments, really giving him a hard time. I'm actually embarrassed to even talk about it right now. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to go back and forth with Brad as a vocal person, and it really turned into an ugly mess. People are loyal to a fault to their YouTube fragrance reviewers, and I kind of see that, even though I'm not comparing Daver to Brad at that stage, because Brad wasn't really established at that time. Fragrance Bros is very much an established fragrance channel. However, there's the monster of Jeremy with his channel and his subscriber base, and it just feels like Daver was just getting overwhelmed, and I almost see that same scenario go. And to be quite honest, when that happened to me with Brad, I was truly disappointed in myself, in my comment, that I made it vocal, I made it available to people to see, and I fully saw the power of being a YouTube personality here. in the fragrance community. I never seen it before. I've never seen it go that ugly that quickly. That was the first time I truly sat back and I just went, wow, I have a little bit of power in my hands here, and I need to start censoring myself a little bit more and truly think before I act. To that day, that moment, I've tried my best to censor myself to ensure that the peace continues in our community. Brad never deserved any of that. Brad, if you're watching, we've said our piece in regards to that years and years ago. It was out of my control. He knows this. It's not like I had a bunch of trolls go. That was my actual subscribers going after him. And I saw the hate, and that was probably the worst I ever felt as a fragrance reviewer. Brad and I, in my opinion, we both have mutual respect for each other, our channels, and our subscriber base. It has been years since this incident, but it's still ingrained in my mind, and I still feel bad because we're all human beings here. I'm not a heartless person. I love Brad as a reviewer. I love his content, and I'd be 100%, and I am 100% behind him for anything that he does. Now, the second incident, and a lot of current YouTube reviewers know this more now because it was more of a recent happening. It still happened 3-4 years ago. It was with Coach Rob. Coach Rob won my Fragrance Idol contest. As a subscriber, you may be around. Obviously, I was a huge fan of his channel because he actually won. He's known to say something like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not trying to ditch is key wording, but he says, depends on what the ladies say, depends on what I spray, something like that. That is a whole different philosophy of mine. However, as you can see, I have mutual respect to another fragrance channel that has a different vision, that he actually won Fragrance Idol and I chose the winner. So now my misunderstanding with Coach Rob, with him, was fairly petty. As the winner of Fragrance Idol, he was entitled to any bottle. That was the statement I said on when I started Fragrance Idol at that time. He won, so I PM'd him to ask him what he wanted, and in his PM, he told me he wanted Invention Barbare. This fragrance right here. Now, this fragrance right here, again, I hope Coach Rob doesn't mind that I talk about this. It is way past. If you do have a problem, please let me know. But this fragrance comes with either a standard top, which is just basically a chromed out top. It doesn't look as sexy with this resin bust. So this fragrance, I don't remember at the time what the cost was, but there's a stock price of this bottle. Right now it's $250, just like this with that regular cap. If you want this resin bust, it's $375 a bottle. So there is a huge cost just to have a little guy on top of a bottle. So in his PM, he made it very clear to me that he wanted the resin bust with the fragrance, that he wanted Invention Barbare, but he had to get that resin bust, and he wanted me to pay for it, which is fine. I understood that he wanted that bottle. Now the price, the $375 or whatever it was at the time, I think it was actually less than that, really it wasn't a problem for me. I was fully prepared to pay as much as I had to pay. It was the way that he brought it up to me that he wanted absolutely the little guy on top of the bottle, and he specifically asked for that in his request for the bottle. I thought it was a little much, in my opinion. You could have just asked for the fragrance itself, and you could have, if you wanted the resin bust, you could have paid for it. However, I complied. There was chatter throughout the community, and it started to change the face of our community. It started going through old school reviewers versus new school reviewers. Coach Rob was basically the head of the new school reviewers. These guys started putting a little more skill in their fragrance reviews, more Bottom Note is one of those that a little more graphics, things like that, a little fancier versus the old school reviewers. And that whole incident kind of put in that whole old school versus new school, people thinking there was a clique. Myself and Rob have put everything behind us. We've chatted because of this. But that was another time that I saw the community kind of split through. I'm in the middle of it. My hands are as dirty as anybody else's. So, but there is, as you can see from the start of this, the start of all these stories, and it blows up to the subscribers. The reviewers themselves, it was just a misunderstanding, or it was just something that was a little petty. It was in an email that Rob wrote that, and he didn't, I don't think he looked at it in the way that I looked at it. So now let's move on to Bottom Note. Talking about Dell, Sweet Dell. Bottom Note is the current YouTube reviewer, not that Brad or Coach Robert, but the Bottom Note is, I felt when I first saw his videos, I thought he had great talent with editing, great skills to make intros. He was someone that I really thought could make a huge mark in our fragrance community. And I really felt like Dell's channel could be one of those that could be one of the pillars in our YouTube fragrance community. However, it did go south quite quickly. I'm trying to remember really what happened, but Dell is, with my interaction with Dell, he's a very vocal person, someone that has no filter. He made his thoughts, and good or bad, into videos. He started calling out reviewers. He made little skits. That really hurt the community. I wasn't really entailed in that whole Bottom Note Dell thing. I was trying to be more of a peacekeeper at that time. I was reaching out to Dell. He and I, he had some negative things to say about me, but other than that, I wasn't really involved with that. And this is where that downturn started, taking sides. Now that we have Coach Rob, the new reviewers, the Coach Rob supporters were with Dell, and they were hating on Daver, and it was just a mess. Now fast forward to our current position. Let's talk about Jeremy Fragrance Bros. Dell, again, what you doing, buddy? You're still in the news. Dua Fragrances, or DUA, dead upon arrival. That's what I think about when I see those letters. No malicious content there for Dua. Our community is starting to point fingers again, taking sides. I'll be honest, I'm not a leader of the FragCom that people think I am. I'm just part of it. Every video I shoot, every comment I put through, or every like, I put my mark on the community, just like yourselves. I'm not witch hunting. I'm not trying to discredit anyone, and I think we should all look in the mirror, and that's pretty much to the subscribers out there, but mostly the reviewers. Taking sides in a fragrance community, are we kidding ourselves? Is it that serious? I understand some of you have grown with a certain reviewer. I totally understand. I wouldn't have defended Tim the way people are defending Jeremy. But I would have taken Tim's side, and again, I would put logic into it, and I wouldn't start going on someone else's channel, start thumbing down, disliking, and putting comments, and kind of following that reviewer around. But I do understand that people grow up with a certain reviewer. We've all have that one reviewer that we stumbled upon on YouTube, our first reviewer, and to be quite honest, I understand that. And it's not that serious. Jeremy is doing well. Dell is doing well. Dua is still selling. They're selling more than they ever did. Everybody's doing well. My sub count has doubled since all this crap has gone on, to be quite honest. I've been very dormant on my channel. I've been getting maybe 5 or 6 subscribers. I just want to take a look back because somebody wrote that I was losing subscribers. I took a look back. I'm actually gaining more subscribers. I'm getting like 11 to 20 a day. Daver is doing his thing. So yes, drama gets people going. Drama gets people talking. I just wanted to show you guys that I'm not an angel. My hands aren't clean in this mess whatsoever. However, I can admit when I'm wrong from my past. I've learned quite a bit in social media over the years. I've tried to be as Some people see me as a leader, and I try to act more as a leader through my YouTube channel. Our community at the moment is at its peak. People say the FragCom is dead. No, it's not. We are at our peak right now. Reviewers don't want to speak, and that is their prerogative. However, I am here to speak for it. I love this community. I've seen it at its worst, and I've seen it at its greatest. I love every single one in the community, to subscribers, to all the reviewers, anybody that's supported me and my fellow reviewers, some for you for years now. We are a community because of the subscribers. We need to go back to supporting each other. We are a tiny community. You look, I was on YouTube the other day, and weird enough, I stumbled upon this guy that has a channel, and he goes to thrift stores. Okay, this guy is he's hilarious. But anyway, this guy goes to thrift stores. There's a freaking community of people that go to thrift stores, and he has his own online shop. This guy has, 245,000 subscribers. He gets 160,000 views every video. This guy's not even the biggest guy in the thrift genre. And it just goes to show you, the Smelly Juice, we are so young. Our numbers are nothing. We are a tiny community. The most important thing that I'd like to say here is, let's not take sides. Let's subscribe to everybody. Let's stop this pettiness of, I'm subscribed to Jeremy Fragrance. People think I hate him. I'm subscribed to him. Is he subscribed to me? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But we need, as reviewers, to support each other. Let's subscribe to everybody. Let's support each other. After all, the most famous quote, I don't know who quoted it first. After all, it's only Smelly Juice, guys. It's not that serious. However, we take our channels very seriously because we've put our time in. We love our channels. As a reviewer, if you're watching me, and I hope you are, because I know a lot of you reviewers don't watch me anymore because, goddamn, I'm long-winded. Inspire other reviewers. We should all look in the mirror as reviewers, and if you're a reviewer and you're watching this video, this is the key of this video for you. You can take it, you can leave it, I don't care. Look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, why did I first start my channel? Why did you do it? You know why I did it? I did it because no one had a fucking Le Male fragrance review on YouTube. That was the reason. That was my first video, Le Male. Nobody reviewed it. I was pissed off. I wanted to be part of this. And then it started growing into me. And then I wanted it to be a community. I saw Base Notes, I saw Fragrantica. I'm like, why can't we do it on YouTube? You know what? We did it. We are a community. But why did you first start your channel? Did you start your channel to talk shit about other reviewers? Are you proud when you take a look at every single video on your channel? You know, think before you act. Same thing with subscribers. Think before you act. Before you hit that submit button. Robes08 is a fucking asshole. Why would you write that? Unless you're a troll, that's perfectly fine. But if you're a Jeremy supporter and you hate Robes08 just because everybody else hates Robes08, why do you truly hate me? We're on the same playing field. Did I ever say I hated Jeremy Fragrance? No, never said that. Other people have implemented, maybe in your head, that I started this whole thing against Jeremy. Incorrect. I didn't. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. The one that both subjects, Duo and Bottom Note, Jeremy and Daver. I'm not here to spread facts because I'm not here to take sides. Let's start with Jeremy and Daver. Now, I'm not going to have facts. I might have little snippets here and there, but this is just me talking to those reviewers. I hope both of you are watching. I hope so. Jeremy, you don't hang around my channel that much. The only time that you came over was that compliments video. I remember you sending me an email way back when. I remember that. I don't know if you do, but I remember that. And, you know, we didn't really get a chance to talk. I recently sent you a personal message, which I didn't receive a reply back. That's okay. That is your prerogative. Now let's talk about Jeremy and Daver. Now, I am attached to this whole Jeremy versus Fragrant Bros topic. Firstly, because of my compliments video, which I guess you can think that I started this whole thing. But in my eyes, I didn't. Now, my compliments video, let's forget about that. Next. I did chime in on Joey Cannoli's video. I did. It was me, yes. Jeremy Fragrance responded by saying to a Joey video, he said he was going to publish a video, like a Q&A. I don't remember what he said, but he said something like he was going to answer a question by saying that he is going to talk about when he first started to decide to be a reviewer. Something like that. I wish I had those quotes, but I don't. What I did is I put in a response. I linked a video that someone posted in my Fragrance Guru Facebook group that they said this is interesting. I felt it was interesting too. And I felt it was pertinent to the discussion. So I said, as a jerk, maybe this would be something better to answer or something in that regard. Which I felt was actually a better topic at hand, to be quite honest, as far as what was going on in the community with Jeremy Fragrance. Which, looking back on it, sounds bad. Fuck, man, I shouldn't have wrote that. I shouldn't have put a link in there that somebody else put. But it was a discussion in my fragrance group, and I felt it was pertinent to the discussion, and I was putting it into Jeremy's court and take a look at what people are saying. Now, reasoning between, that was the only thing that I actually wrote. I felt when I posted that I felt it was going to be a better video than answering what he was going to answer. What Joey was saying at the end of his video, I was like, those are some solid questions. I'd like to see that. And that's why I put that video in there, to maybe kind of push Jeremy a little bit to that. Now, people were starting to say that I pressured Jeremy to answer our questions, that we're a fragrance community going after him, answer our questions or else. Nope. He can do whatever he feels he wants to do with his channel. He doesn't have to answer it to anybody. The reason for that question, I just felt like it was good to put in there. Food for thought. I have my own judgment on his channel. I have my own judgment on everybody's channel, including mine, and how they're built. But he doesn't have to answer to shit. Jeremy and Dave. Dave is obviously a much more of a friend than a reviewer to me. Jeremy's more of a reviewer than a friend to me because we just haven't had that dialogue. Dave, I know you personally. We are friends. You and Jeremy, that used to be a fragrance bro, both friends. You're not colleagues. You guys are friends to me. I know what you were trying to do, Daver. You know this through our dialogue. I know that the community is something that you care deeply about as much as I do. And you defend it as much as I do. And I think right now there is something different going on in our fragrance community. You just wanted to put those answers out there. You wanted subscribers to have all the facts that us reviewers can see. And there's things that we can see that subscribers don't see as far as the channel goes. We know a little bit more about the journey as a reviewer. So I understand where he's coming from. All in all, as far as Jeremy goes, as far as Daver goes, I hope everything is in the back. It's dust. As far as Jeremy Fragrance, to you, if you are watching, your red list.
I got some people now on my red list that I remember. I mean, this is just a hobby for mine.
No fragrance reviewer should have a red list. I would call it a blacklist personally. I'm not a big fan of red. But your red list, you shouldn't have a red list on reviewers. Come on, man, really? We can't do that. Now, it is your channel. It is your video. You can do whatever you like. If you want to have your own personal group, that's fine. However, a red list is taken a little too far. I don't have a blacklist of reviewers. Coach Rob, Brad, Bottom Note aren't on my blacklist. I'm not going to blacklist some fragrance reviewers. If I ever make it big, everybody's welcome. Even you, Jeremy. Maybe we can finally meet. Maybe you and David can finally meet. But, that is something that, again, that is something that I've seen on your channel. Again, you can do whatever you want. It is your prerogative to keep the comments the way they are. I personally don't think that Daver's a hater. If you bundle me with him as a hater, you can. But Daver's not a hater. He's far from it. He was very genuine in his video. He was trying to do what he can. There was some topics that he touched upon that maybe were twisted a little bit by subscribers. Anyway, also Jeremy, another tip. I know that you said in your video, losers.
Shouldn't waste our time on those losers. It's just the case, guys. Don't waste your time on losers. So that was it.
I would never refer anybody as a fragrance reviewer as a loser. It's not something a leader should do. If you're going to make this fragrance community what it is, and you're going to be the leader that people are seeing in you, then calling fragrance reviewers losers, having a red list, is not the way to go about it. You should stand up proud with your subscribers, maybe not even tackle it or be, in front of the camera. I know you were angry. I saw the anger. Even though you were, it was a quick 2-minute video, like you don't care. You were on your phone at the start of the video. You were saying that you were pushing products, pushing CH Men. I was pushing La Nuit de l'Homme like a salesman. That is the way you want to run your channel. That's great. All in all, in this whole scenario, I regret putting myself into it. Dave and I, we're always going to be good friends. You know how I feel about what you've done. You've never had a filter. We should never review fragrances thinking about the other reviewer out there. We need to inspire other reviewers. We need to collaborate more. And that's on to my next point. Throughout this video, what I want to see with this community is us all being a community, a family again. And the only way, now there's not the only way, but one way of doing that is I think Jeremy and Daver should reach out to each other and get that collaboration that they always wanted to do back in the day. Get that done. It doesn't have to be on that particular fragrance, but that's what I want to see. I want to see you guys do it. So maybe things have gone way too out of hand that both parties have to separate, but that is my ask of you guys as a community. As one of the people that ingrained himself in this community, I'm here and I'm asking you, and you guys as subscribers to both channels or to just one, if you unsubscribed to Daver, comment below and ask them to get together. Let's see that collab. I'd like to collab with Jeremy. I'm gonna collab with Daver also. This is not about me. This is not about me. And I don't want the Jeremy fanboys saying, well, Mark's doing this video because he's putting Jeremy's name in there, because I know that's the way it's going to be. I want subscribers. I want to be, it's not it. So it's not about me right now. It's about Daver and Jeremy. So you guys, hopefully, if you guys need me as a third party, I'm very happy about it. We can get you guys together to collab. In closing, my thoughts on Jeremy's channel is really inconsequential. Do I see the spike in his popularity as something that is different in our fragrance community? Yes, I have my questions. I have my doubts. more from the start of his fragrance journey. More there than right now. I don't have my doubts. As far as his content goes, it's not my type of content for me, Mark, me as a person. Not my subscribers. I'm not saying my subscribers can't go. You guys are free and willing to do whatever you want. You don't need me to tell you to do that. But I just wanted to put my thoughts here. Am I Jeremy Hater? No. Do I think there is a start of his channel? I saw a spike. Yeah. What is that spike? I have my own questions. I don't need to put him on camera. He doesn't need to answer them. We can discuss it in personal message if he wants to, but we don't have to. But either way, I'm happy. I'm proud of what our community is starting to be. So again, that is my take on the Jeremy and Fragrance Bros. I really, to the subscribers, because it's not really the reviewers, it's the subscribers right now that are taking sides. Don't take sides. We're all in it together. Let's forget about this. Let's move on. Let's be grown men about this. Let's move on. Now, Dua and Bottom Note, same thing applies here. I'm not going to throw out some evidence and say who's right, who's wrong. That's not the reason for this video. This is why we shouldn't be doing these kind of videos, because people are taking sides. Okay? Now, Dell said some things about fragrance reviewers in the community that is unforgivable in some people's eyes. He did this in the past. Some people unsubbed of Dell. Some will not speak to him. Some people, don't want to give this man a chance. Do I condone what Dell has done in the past? Hell no. He knows how I feel about what he has done. His fragrance-related videos, now that's another story. I love what Dell puts into the community. I believe everybody deserves a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. Now, again, that is not my prerogative because he didn't come out after me. He was a little malicious with me. And he said some things that I'm sure he has regretted. But as a whole, again, those videos I don't condone at all. Going after reviewers is huge. No. Those type of videos I don't like. You go after someone's family, same thing. Either way. So moving on. Now, Dua, and Dell. I don't know the full story, to be quite honest. There's no requirement for me to even know the full story. This is me talking about, as a outsider, what I think. From what I see that is public, this is ugly. It's another let's take sides type of deal. Let's bash the other side. Dua may have pushed Dell, which is very vocal. Now, Dell may have, and I hear that he fired back. Once you start talking about family, I'm going to fire back at you. He's very vocal. If you start taking, going after the man, he is going to come right back at you. Just to get you guys up to prerogative, what happens is Dell made a video in regards to Dua fragrances. It was I would say more of a negative video, and it has been pulled by Dua by YouTube because of copyright infringement. Dell made another video and then said this is the reason why. Now that might not be the whole story. I wrote a comment in that video saying that if they pull that video, and from what Dell is saying, they pull that video because it was a negative fragrance review. Now, and I don't believe in censoring any of our reviewers. If a company is going to censor reviewers, that is a no-go for me. Now, is there more to it? Now, I've been hearing that Dell called one of them terrorists. One of them was commenting and kept commenting on Dell's stuff, saying bad things about him. Talking about Dell's daughter's fragrance collection, things like that. All I know is Dell, as a fragrance reviewer, I thought he was going to turn a new leaf. I saw his new content. I started commenting. I started liking because he has so much talent, to be quite honest. And if he's watching this, I'm sure he is. You could really excel in this fragrance community as a reviewer and giving out an honest take. You're very good with your words. Sadly, Dell kind of went back to his old ways here with that terrorist remark. I don't know if it's true. I'm not going to start paraphrasing what's going on. So as far as my relationship with both here, Bottom Note and Dua, Bottom Note, that's my relationship with him. Dell, he has spoken about me in high regard. He has spoken to me as like a true gentleman, and then sometimes he just came out of nowhere and surprised the crap out of me with some stuff. So it is in his nature to defend himself, and sometimes it's almost to a fault. That's my recollection or my history with Dell. My history with Dua fragrances, there's hardly any. The owner of Dua, Massam, I think. Massam. I'm the owner of Dua. My experience with Dua fragrances is very limited. I'll tell you guys my take. I was in contact with the owner of Dua. I think he's the owner. Massam is his name. I'm on Facebook. He kept hitting me up. He wanted to send me samples. He wanted to send me bottles, things like that about his fragrances. To me, if you know me, I have no real interest in that genre of fragrances. The brand is more, I wouldn't say knockoff, but it's more of a cloning kind of a fragrance brand. If you're going to tell me that you have a fragrance that smells like Virgin Island water, that's $45, and it's, you know, it's in a little square bottle with a sticker attached. I'd rather get Virgin Island water. That's the way I am. That's how I am. So I have no interest in these brands. So I kind of just shrugged him off. He was very nice, but at the same time, all my interactions with him are very nice. However, when they started their promotional push, they started peppering the crap out of my Facebook group. I don't know if they're giving out free bottles for, to post in my Facebook group. I don't know what's going on. But then all war broke loose on my Facebook group, and all of a sudden, my mods were booting people, and all of a sudden there's a fragrance. My Facebook group's called Fragrance Guru Nation, and now there's a group that's called Fragrance Nation. It was open. And one of my subscribers said, Mark, go head out over there. Dua Fragrances is kind of talking about you. That kind of just piques my interest because I'm like, Dua Fragrances. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know why they're talking about me because I was never in these threads. I've never talked. I talked to the owner, but it was before this whole thing happened. Anyway, so I pop over, and this Fragrance Nation has like the same name as my Facebook group, which is fine, whatever. They got the same logo. I'm just, all right, that's good. There's about 50 members or so in that group. And they started putting my name into things saying me and my followers are bashing the crap out of. I'm like, whoa, just give me a minute here. I've never said anything about the brand, but now that kind of soured me about the brand. I talked to the owner about it. He's like, no, I'm not part of that. Don't worry about it. It's not my guys. It's people that support the group or my brand. I'm like, okay, water under the bridge. I look back just recently because of this, that Facebook group is still open. And who is the admin? Massam. I'm like, wait a minute, you're an administrator of that group. So you're telling me your people weren't part of this. So that kind of sours me. He seems like such a straight up nice gentleman from our conversations, from what I've seen on YouTube. But I think he surrounds himself with people that are malicious. And that is not a good business aspect. So all in all, Dua fragrance company, I've never smelled any of their fragrances, so I can't talk about their fragrances personally. I can't say anything in regards to their business tactics. I don't know if he would have given me that free bottle, that he was going to ask me for positive feedback. Anybody that knows me, if you're going to give me a bottle, you better expect true honesty from me. So if you're giving me a bottle, that's your prerogative. So in closing, Dell, you can take this to the bank, or you can throw it in the garbage. As someone in the spotlight, as a YouTube fragrance reviewer, I plead with you just to continue on the path of releasing great fragrance content. I love every single one of your videos that you're focused on the content, everything. So in closing, Del, you can take this to the bank or you can throw it in the garbage. As someone in the spotlight, as a YouTube fragrance reviewer, I plead with you just to continue on the path of releasing great fragrance content. I love every single one of your videos that you're focused on the content. Everything else on the wayside is very ugly, Del. It is, Del. I don't want you to go back and slide into that path. Leave Dua fragrances alone. Who cares? Give your honest take about them. Move on. To Massam, the owner of Dua, you may have to look into your team and have a business chat. Any successful business starts with you and your staff. It's very important. Your promotional aspect to get your business name out was to squeeze as much as you can from the YouTube fragrance and Facebook groups. You squeezed so much that there was no juice left in our community, and then you just kept on squeezing. Sometimes you're starting to push people the wrong way, and that gives a negative aspect to your upcoming brand. Starting a business is hard, I know. Starting a fragrance business is very hard. You were very successful in your push, and you have a very small team. Some of them may be part owners. However, I think it's time to look and start acting like a business team. If you really want to be successful with Dua, I really think it's time to cut the cord with some of these people that are pushing your product just a little too much, being a little too assertive. It's great to be assertive with your brand, to promote it, but at the same time, there is going to be negative aspects to the whole game. So that is my 2 cents to you, sir. You can take it, you can leave it, put it in the garbage. But going to a YouTube channel that said negative things about your fragrance, it doesn't smell good. Overall, I want to also talk about fragrance reviewers talking great things about Dua. However, they're never in the top 20s of some or top 10s of some people. Again, I don't talk about Dua fragrances, so you can't blame me. I don't follow the trends. But honestly, as a fragrance reviewer, will a bottle of $45 cologne really make me review something positively? You're going to give me a $45 bottle of cologne? I'm not going to change the way I review because of that $45. Hell no. Maybe guys I know in the community may sacrifice their opinion for a bottle of cologne, but I don't think so. So to Del, I can't challenge you to do a collaboration. Maybe you can with the owner of Dua, but it would be nice for you guys to play nice. That was a rhyme. Overall, in closing, I know this video has run its course. In closing, I think I've said everything I need to get off my chest. I've seen the highs and lows of this community, and I think right now we are in the midst of a low. Seeing this community and the hateful words in the comments, and the picking of sides, that needs to stop. It's much more, it's a burden with the reviewers to think about the words you're going to say, to not get those subscribers to hate or bash or do whatever they can. But it's even more to you, the subscribers. If someone comments below in this video and says, "Robes, you suck. Robes, you're ugly," let them be. You don't need to go after them. Someone saying Jeremy Fragrance is the king, that doesn't affect me. You don't have to comment below and say, "No, Mark's the king." Who cares? Who cares? Who really cares? It is what it is. To all reviewers, let's go back to what we do best. Review these bad boys. That's what we do. That's what we should be doing. So, in closing, I want to see more positive, more collaboration. I'm going to put it upon myself to collaborate with people that I've never collaborated before. I'm going to go on their channel. They're going to come on my channel. I'm going to start shouting out people that, are just starting out as reviewers. It's time to get them some shine. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to comment more on your videos, reviewers, if you're watching. I'm going to start being there. I can do my part. You guys need to start doing yours.